everyone, this is Johannes and you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and today we're taking a look at the new game from Horrible Games, Dragon Castle. This is a new abstract game based on the solitaire version of Mahjong, which you probably have played sometime on your computer. I know I have, and I was really excited to check out this beautiful looking game and see what they have added to the formula. So let's see how the game plays, and we'll come back to see what I think about it. Dragon Castle is played over a different amount of rounds each time you play it. And before you start the game, you're going to set up the game depending on how many players you are. Up here is the map for 4 players, and there is one for 3 and 2 players as well. Also, there's going to be in the rulebook different ways you can set up the castle, and also you can make your own. Just put the pieces out there and see what happens. On your turn, you have a choice between 4 different actions, but in the beginning of the game, you only have a choice between 3 of them. The first thing you can do is basically take a tile. So, in this game, which is different from Solitaire Mahjong, is that you have to take a tile on the top layer. And the special rule, or the rule that is the same as Mahjong, is that one of the long sides have to be free for you to be able to take it. So in this case, I can take all the tiles that are on the outside of this top layer. So let's say I, for example, take this tile. This tile is yellow and it has 6 dots on it. It's a 6 of yellow. When I take this, that's the first thing I can do in my turn. Then I have the choice of 3 different actions. The first one, I can just discard it, put it beside my place, and I can take 1 point. That is something you would do probably if you want to take something from somebody else, or if you really don't need anything that's on the board. The second thing I can do, which is the most common thing, is that I can take 1, and then I can take another tile anywhere on the board which has one of the long sides free that matches exactly the tile I took. So I take another 6 of yellow. And the last thing you can do is take 1 tile and then take a shrine, and I will explain what these do later. After you have taken your tiles, let's say I took these 2 6 yellows, you can place them wherever you want on your little castle. Everybody has the same kind of castle, same layout, and you can put the tiles wherever you want. You don't have to put them adjacent, you don't have to put them anywhere. The only rule is that you can't put anything on top of something that is face up. So as long as this tile is face up, I can't put anything on top of it. So I could, for example, put these 2 pieces right here. And you're going to continue to do this. So let's say I take this, and I take this. I got 2 more yellows. And then, if I put them here, and I end up with 4 or more adjacent tiles. So in this example, I have 4 yellows all together. I will then consolidate them. I will get points. I will score the group. I will turn them over, making them blank spaces, and then you will get points depending on how big the group was. So you really want to score the bigger groups, the more points you're going to get. For example, for this 4 group, I will get 2 points. So that's not too much. I would have wanted to maybe put this yellow over here so that they don't touch, and I will then later put in more yellows so that everything goes together and I get a big group of yellows. After you had scored one of these groups, you can put on them a shrine. And if I put a shrine over here, that's going to score me points in the end of the game. It's going to block that piece so I can never put something on top of that again, but it's going to give me 1 point at the end of the game, because this shrine is at level 1. If I later in the game get to score something that ends with a tile on level 2, I can put a shrine on there, it will give me 2 points, and if I get it on level 3, it will get me 3 points. So you want to build, you want to get them flipped over, and you want to get them higher, because now I can start filling up. Let's say if I take this 3 and this 3 of green, I can start filling it up on top of here, and I can take this and this, and I can put it here and here maybe, so that I will try to make a bigger group of greens this time. And sometimes you just want to take one, take the shrine, put it in so that you can finish your group and have the shrines as well, because those are really good points. There are 3 different there are lots of colors, but there are 3 different kinds of rarity. So you have these simple ones. You have some with border. Those are the blacks and the blue. I'm really not remembering the color names. That's sad. And then you have the dragons, which are the most hard to get. The fewest pieces out of those dragons. And if you score a group of the black or yellow, not black or blue, you can put on 2 shrines. And if you score the dragons, you can put on 2 shrines, but you get an extra point because the dragons are awesome and then it gives you points. So you're gonna continue doing this. And then when you end up, you only have the last layer left. I'm not going to take off all of it, but when you end up with only having the last layer left, then the 4th action ends up being available, and that is calling for the dragon. And you just take one of these tiles, and it scores you 2 points at the end of the game. And basically, when all these tiles have gone, depending on how many players there are, 1 per player, then the game is soon finished. You're going to continue playing until everybody has had the same amount of turns, and then the game ends and you score up your points. And that's basically it. That is the basic version of the game. But wait, there's more. You can add some stuff to make the game a little more interesting. In the beginning of the game, you can shuffle these dragon cards, and you can choose a dragon. And at the end of the game, that dragon is going to score you some extra points. For example, we have this dragon right here, which is going to score you 1 extra point for each shrine you have at the edges of your board. That's going to make you play pretty differently than you would if something else scored. So that makes the game more playable and more replayable. And also you have the spirits, which is basically some special abilities that you're going to put out on the table, and everybody can use it once per turn. And they have to use it, they have to either throw away a shrine, or they have to take a piece that is face up and also discard it. And then they can use a special ability that will help them get the pieces that they really need. And that is basically how you play Dragon Castle. So let's get back up and see what I think about it. And that's how you play Dragon Castle. And I must say, I really enjoy this game. We tried it out first at the Essen Fair. We only played the basic version without the spirits and without the dragons, and I thought that was okay. I thought it was good enough, and I think it's going to be great for introducing new players because this game is really simple to play. So with the basic version, it's easy, a gateway level game. You can play it with anybody. The rules are really simple, as they should be in an abstract game, and everything just flows really well. So I really enjoy that basic version, that it is there. So you can learn it, and if you don't mind, if you don't care doing it, you can just jump straight to the more advanced version. And the advanced version isn't really so advanced. You're just going to add one of the scoring cards and one of the special ability cards, and you're going. It's just a couple simple more rules, and then you play the same game. I really enjoy this one. It's quick. You can play it in 15, 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes with a maximum amount of players. The box says 45 minutes. I think you're going to use that time the first time you play it with 4, but then it's going to go quicker. A 2-player game is really fast, and I really, really enjoy playing the game. It's light. It's very, very light, but it's beautiful looking. Like, that's one of the things that's really nice about the game. And the pieces, they feel nice in your hands. They're heavy enough so that they actually feel like there's something there, and I really like that. Like, if those were really, really light, it wouldn't be as cool. And they look beautiful. You tear apart the castle, you build up the castle. I enjoy that, and I enjoy puzzle games. I always enjoyed playing games like Mahjong and games like Tetris, stuff like that on a computer. And I really think this translates well into a board game. I have never played like the original, the real multiplayer version of Mahjong, but I think this is a nice addition to Mahjong. It's basically the solitaire version with some building. This game can be played really as a multiplayer solitaire experience, where you're just gonna take your tiles, the colors you want, and see what happens. Try to build the biggest squares, try to build the biggest groups of tiles, and get a lot of points. But I think the game really shines when you get a little bit into it, and you can start focusing on what the other players need as well, because that makes the game really interactive. When I see that you need those 2 red pieces, and those are okay for me, I can just take them. it's kind of like a hate draft, as you might say. You're kind of drafting these tiles, and I can try to take stuff that will screw you over and maybe make it harder for you to score your big groups of tiles. And I really think that makes the game a lot more interesting. The first couple of times I played, I was just focusing on my own things, and that's cool as well. Like, it really depends on how you want to play the game and what kind of experience you want. But if you are with players that really like that interactive thing, I think this makes it a lot more interactive. It is a lot more interactive than it might look, and I really enjoy that. The game is quick. The game is fun, the game looks beautiful, there is a lot of replayability with the different dragons, there's a lot of replayability with the different spirits, and yeah, I think you should check it out. If you enjoy abstract games, if you enjoy light, short games, this can be as a filler. One thing I need to say, one thing that is, if I should add a negative, is I think it's important to see the critical looks in a review, is that setting up the tiles is a little bit fiddly. Like, the game is a little bit fiddly, a tiny little bit fiddly. When you play, and when I'm gonna take off this tile, it's easy to do stuff that will dearrange the tiles, to make them fall over, to make stuff like that happen. And especially when you're gonna flip all your tiles, if you have a big group and some are in the middle, you have to basically take apart all your castle and remember where all the pieces were to actually get them back together again. And I didn't mind that. It isn't a problem. The setting up, if you're not in a rush, then it's no problem at all, and it's not a big problem for me. I don't mind it, but I thought I should say it so that you know. If you think you're gonna be like, it's horrible to stack these pieces and it's horrible that they sometimes fall over and you have to sometimes take away your castle, then check it out. Play it first before you buy it. I think you should check it out. It's a fun game. It's a great little game. That is Dragon Castle from Horrible Games. Thank you so much for watching another review. Please comment, please like, and subscribe to my channel. That would make me really happy. You can also follow me on Twitter at BG Ramblings, and until next time, have a good week. Bye bye.